Namaskaram and welcome to this episode of my Himalayan Journeys. Usually whenever I travel, especially this kind of travels where I am traveling in the Himalayas, this is in an exploratory mode. So I usually don't plan every step of my journey. I just book my onward journey and my return ticket. The rest of it I sort of keep it loose. And why do I travel? I travel to well-known as well as less-known temples and energy spaces in an attempt to bring out and highlight what we are really losing out on. Just because a place is popular doesn't mean we know everything about that place. For example, this place I have come to, Kasar Devi, is well known for all the wrong reasons. LSD drugs, hippie movement and Van Allen bell theory and whatnot. So as I was leaving Almora, I booked in a homestay called Jungle Resort in Kasar Devi. This area is home to deodar and pine forests, and it also provides views not just of Almora and the Havalbagh Valley, but also of a panoramic view of the Himalayas from the Bandar Panch peak on the Himachal Pradesh border to Epi-10 in Nepal. And also close by is the Binsar Wildlife Sanctuary, which lies 30 kilometers away. I checked into the homestay after a brief introduction with 𝘀𝘂𝗽𝗍 and I headed to the Kasar Devi temple. It was just a 15-20 minutes walk. It's a small village and it's very sparsely populated. Kasar Devi, trekking towards that, just a small hike, maybe a 10-minute, 15-minute hike. The temple did not have any crowd and it was a quiet and powerful space too. As I entered, I could just feel a totally different ambience to that space. The temple consists of two different groups of temples. One is a Devi, which is the Kasar Devi. A few steps climb and then you reach the Shiva and the 𝘲𝗲𝗱 temple. Well, the basic rock temple, which is inside a cave-like structure, and there is an extension of a building, small building that's been built. This must have been definitely around 1500 to 2000 years. But the present structure has been given shape by the Birla family only in the year 1948. The Shiva temple has some inscription written which I couldn't read. The Shiva temple also has a linga which people can go inside and make their own offerings. And there is a 𝘲𝗲𝗱 shrine which is also next to it. The 𝘲𝗲𝗱 shrine seems to be a much more recent building, looking at the ceiling and the style of building. The main temple consists of an akhand jyoti, which means that's a lamp kept burning for 24 hours. and it is also a duni, which is a havan kund, where wood logs are burned for 24 hours. The ash in this duni is said to cure people even with psychological problems. There is an inscription here which says that this temple was built during the 6th century AD. That's what was painted near the Shiva temple. But 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗃 was saying what's inscribed on the rock says that it was built by a king during the 2nd century AD. So I'm not sure, historically I couldn't find anything. And so these are two versions about 2nd century AD and 6th century AD. By whichever measure, this is an ancient space where many people like Swami Vivekanand, Anandamayi Ma, 𝘆𝗲𝗂𝗿𝗍 Baba have all visited. Just because these people have visited and spent some time here, it should be something worth going. If you have missed out on the whole hippie movement which I spoke about, wherein all these hippies consumed LSD and ran naked across the ridge, hence giving the name of Crank's Ridge, you should watch this video up here. I'll put the link up here. He took me to the Crank's Ridge.
LSD वगैरह खा के उनको क्या फील हुआ होगा, फट जाते हैं ना लोग LSD खा के, तो शायद हो सकता है सब लोगों ने LSD खाई होगी, तो इधर से लेके उधर तक उस रेंज तक दौड़े वो लोग। कितनी अच्छी जगह है ना, सनराइज भी यहीं से देख लो, सनसेट भी देख लो और साथ में हिमालय भी देख लो, पहाड़ की वादियाँ भी हैं, पवित्र स्थान भी है और सैंक्चुअरीज भी है।
Being a resident of Kasar Devi, he was very much concerned with the tourists leaving trash behind, bottles behind. He is also part of the Kasar Devi club or group, which has taken up the initiative of cleaning this place up. He was also showing me those plant saplings that they have planted there. 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗃 asked me if I have heard of Sunyata Baba. I said no. So he said Sunyata Baba also used to live here for almost 45 years at the edge of the Crank's Ridge. So he took me there. When we went there, we saw that the Sunyata Baba's kutir, it was totally destroyed, and he said it just happened a few months back. A few of the people came there and destroyed the place for whatever reason. When I asked him about the time period, when did Sunyata Baba stay there, he said, let me take you to somebody who holds him very close, and he took me to ताराजी.
अब देखिए, सुन्याता जी तो हमारे एक घरेलू पारिवारिक मित्र रहे हैं। स्नेह प्रेम मिला है, इन लोगों की नज़दीकियाँ मिली हैं, तो इन्हीं के ही आशीर्वाद से आज हम जिंदा हैं, इतना ही कर सकते हैं। बाकी हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है कहने को। इन्हीं लोगों ने हमको सब कुछ दिया है। रमन महर्षि साउथ में उन्होंने तो दिया है रेयर बॉर्न वो करके, जो अभी आपने बुक देखी है, ये टाइटल उन्हीं के द्वारा दी है। रमन महर्षि के वो थे। शून्यता मीन्स जीरोनेस, एम्प्टीनेस, शून्य, जीरो। वो एज ए गार्डनर आए थे इंग्लैंड से, कहीं नेहरू जी को टकराए। नेहरू जी की प्रॉपर्टी थी यहाँ बिनसर में। जब सुनियाटा जी यहाँ आए तो फिर यहाँ वो पूरे उनको ये जगह छा गई। 1936 में उन्होंने कसार देवी में अपना एक ठिकाना बनाया। उन्होंने सारी अपनी जो है ज़िंदगी यहाँ पर साइलेंस के बारे में ही रिसर्च किया। यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में शिकागो वगैरह में इन्होंने बड़े अच्छे वो अपने साइलेंस में ही अपने प्रवचन दिए हैं। इन लोगों का तो आशीर्वाद हमेशा ही रहेगा हमारे साथ, वो तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है।
After this, 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗃 also took me to a Tibetan monastery. It was closed. This monastery is also on the Kasar Devi mountain, just behind the Shiva temple. There was just one monk who was managing the whole place, and he was traveling elsewhere, and hence the monastery was shut. There is also a spot to meditate with an amazing view of the valley and the Himalayan peaks. There is this whole serenity about this place that just walking through the pine forests and trees, you'll see that for some reason, because coming from Bombay into such a space, the air is still and it's vibrant with something else which is lacking in a city. The sounds of crickets and birds, just nature when it is left to itself seems to carry such an energy of a cocoon that could rejuvenate you just like that. It can recharge you, and that I felt in this Kasar Devi space. It was disheartening that no archaeological references are available for those who visit Kasar Devi. There are hundreds and thousands of such places in Bharat that have either not been documented or have been documented and details sitting in some university archives. These information have to be made available to the common man, to you and me. Till then, let us support by visiting and taking care of the places and make use of these powerful spaces for our growth and betterment, for that's what they were created for. So we'll meet again in the next episode. Namaskar.